the new force. Your friend Hubert Baidoo. Open Akwaba.
Yeah.
We are boko.
That's it. Nyamiadom.
Good.
We are boko now so.
Nyamiadom. We are told to say Dr. Bawumia and John Dramani Mahama eko file omu nomination and yayanti yese that akwa media ko so be file ne DNA. How true is this?
Samote ya na nokre.
Okay.
Na edikan no mamefa na se kese Emma Onua TV. Se mama yakonya biem se yemebo na nakwa mebedi ako ne nsempa no ho dawuru. Afi so medenchi akese pa ebeko ama Ghana fo nyina danfo. Boys and girls ni nyina danfo. Nana kwa mebedi ako. Anopay mechiano pa.
I see. Job time be file nomination time be.
By 10 a.m.
Oh, 10 a.m. yeah. Oh, so just about 10 more minutes now.
Me no ka say na kwan so ayekwa no.
But Nana Kwame any running mate. So obviously filing a nomination.
Ghana mremu no say we running mate untimi file nomination.
Yes. Yeah, but you name the running mate.
Ne mu memra no enkyere say je say ye da running mate na di.
Okay.
Enti running mate ne de ye wo pa.
But so the more running mate on paper.
Paper chawani.
But munyanda na di.
Eno na waka.
Mobile launch ne mobile da na di da be.
So the Ghana fo nyina enim no munim say eba marketing dia. Na kwa me bedi akon edi kan pa.
I see.
Ye wo se ne ahye nyoma.
Oh yeah, strategic economic analyst edema the new force.
You.
Nano nana kwa bedi ako ede ne any swade hunu beto Ghana for anim no. O catch the Ghana for say or the 12 ministers and be really on my way.
You.
I mean, yenya other parties and other presidential candidates for so much what so. What is the main focus of these 12 ministers on between me really on my way? Because your original ministers across Mokrade Omobru 12 per the regional demarcation Omobru 12, but also 12 ministers and on the bay. How is it going to be possible?
When you are medawasibim na edikan no me pese Ghana for eya so na omutie assembly. And they say no human law can immunize itself against human intervention. Actually say emra bia ni ho a eye nipa na ahyehya saa mra no ebo ne ho ban against nipa na ahyehya mra no. Enti se nipa hyemra e nipa na sesa no.
Okay.
Esan se emra ne wo ho e de manipa. Se be ma ya setenam atumpon.
Okay.
Na obehwa Ghana emra ana se constitution no. Ema ho kwan se president ebetumi appoint regional ministers. Nenso so onkyere dodo a obe appoint. Enti se regions near 10 and I say 16 or appointed 16 ministers na in the will of the president no obetimi appointed deputy ministers 2233.
Okay.
Enti so we said yesi a crafty ye mra ni bia it makes our country overgoverned and misgoverned.
I see.
Enti na kwame bedi akon ani so ade hunu ni say sa regional ministers here omodeda regions here no a constitutionally no they have never had executive duties or functions.
They are an oversight responsibility.
They are just representatives of the president. The can say the 16 regional CEOs and ever
CEOs.
Prepare you. And
so technically, yes, assign Dino from being a regional minister to CEO.
And ye Dino kwa. It is the function also.
Okay.
So the regional ministers, they don't have executive duty to initiate projects in the region.
Yes.
It is so regional minister via the Wakujina baby akasa meba no maybe a factory way, my industry way, and no new
Sure.
Enti so onye adwuma bia mfa mwa region ne dia ene na etuaneka for what And here the say, yeah, be building industries across all the regions of Ghana. Nasa 16 regional CEOs we and be accountable to industries na ye be no. This is the vision of Nana
Kwame Bediako. How are they going to be accountable? Because you're going to be provide this kind, you're going to be initiative like you just said.
Okay. Another thing. Ade baako a ese say Ghana for ehune say the regions of Ghana no ese say semi-autonomous.
Okay.
They are sub-national units or enclaves. Ese say omo ankasa have omo small economic units and I say economy. Na ni nyina eboaboa no na enya a consolidated economy for Ghana.
Okay.
So we said me no. Na say wanya enipa obededa sa regions ya no no operational duties. Na currently the omo wa ne administrative duties are. Yentumi benefit from regions no. Enu ntina Ghana ha say so bia ma ne bag so a na senya abrochire no okwa enkran e no oba. Nenso so Accra no the whole greater Accra no is just 1.4% of the entire size of Ghana.
Yeah. I see. Very interesting. Another issue be also raising and that you margin kakra. Say obe make sure say your food security benya betumi store aduane for 100 years.
Yeah.
Is it going to be within 4 years? Because constitutional mandate president biya say obeko one term. Oko one term new year na Ghana for ehune mobile betumi akobiem. To Ghana for ehune mobile no masansora re-elected to become the president. But within a space of 4 years, how is it going to make sure say betumi enya food security for 100 years?
Minua ya check.
Oh really?
Ohwe Ghana ha say ya sase no. 85% fertile. Say Ghana ha no TV3 and say onua abontin ya so yi. Se odi nso okura gu fom a wan hwe be fifiri bibi. Bibi a odi betu fom bia e be fifiri bibi. Enti bibia ni ho a e kire se oman yi esa se ekom ebam.
I see.
Nansen yetete se aban asan ponisika e de kra
$500 million, yeah.
Any idea?
Yeah.
Which is sad. Ghana enye omanya etwa se ekom kura bamuda. Ese senka yetumi nya aduane mani buso. Na ye mum ye export. Nenso so we have a failed leadership.
A failed leadership.
We have a failed leadership. Na sa failed leadership no ekwan bi so no yenia Ghana for eniama ho kwan unim bibi menua
catch me
enioma mienu ene Ghana for ADSC
ebi ne den
na die dikan no in finance your friend no sunk cost fallacy you na the sunk cost no e kire ne say wo ye business bi na odi usika akoshim na business no emfa return emma na nso so sika na odi akoshim no wo mpeso obelusu nti kosoa na odi sika na ye de ebi ehemu eno ne some cost fallacy no
eno na chisu kra unya
faso bi emfiri mu and you are unable to cut your losses early enough. Ghana for your situation in
interesting
ya bo MPP any NDC for ho ka ade no boy ka na enso so ye hu na akodi mu no ye ntimi nkate your losses ntem na wo mu nso ahu no na wo mu take advantage de to so mienu ade ba ko a ene Ghana for ADSC ye frɛ no say Stockholm's syndrome ane
brofo de mu de bi ba yo
kasa ni bi wo ho a ni twi ni ho
if you check Stockholm syndrome.
Na Stockholm syndrome yi.
Yes.
The actually say only obi te anase obi take you captive. Now abuse you no de kwa team
or fa onumum.
na nso so o body no anase o psyche no etumia build a coping mechanism.
Okay.
Enti nipa no o yawa yakayaka de enso so ye twini free oho a ompene.
Okay.
Sa situation na Ghana for ewum Stockholm syndrome and a sunk cost fallacy.
I see.
Enya sa enka NDC ni MPP enka me metna ha enka nkyere Ghana for say SSC yi omu free ho.
I see.
Hey, yeah.
Very interesting. So how is it going to also create 800,000 jobs within 4 years?
800,000 jobs no. Already policy document ni ya. Yes, say 8 million jobs projected to be created in 10 years.
8 million jobs projected to be created within 10 years.
Within the next decade.
Okay.
Within the next decade. Into 800,000 no.
Every year, yeah.
800. Sanity.
800,000.
Sanity.
I see.
Sanity.
So even within the 4 years,
it's by the fourth year, no, you can call about 4 million, about 3.2 million jobs.
I see. Now, so what is the policy direction and the focus of the new Ghana force?
The new force.
The new force.
Me da se so obi sa question yi. Unim aban bia no a eye serious no na eye serious government no. Enuoma mienu bi ohono mu a ese so omudi si omani so. Na sa enuoma mienu no ese se ba akon kosoro no na ba akon ba fom. De ese se e ba fom no eye de nyina enim inflation.
Okay.
Na de ese se ekosoro no eye employment. Sa enuoma mienu wi yeah, the no reverse. For the last 30 to 40 years, MPP ni NDC, Eddie Oman no. Inflation, you know, there be a kosoro. And employment, you know, there be a kofom. This is what Nana Kwame Bediako seeks to change. Ye pese e mabunu no enye adwuma eyo. Na ye pese ye produce more. Na Ghana eye net exporter. Sebe ya nyoma beko fom ama Ghana for na yetumi anya disposable income. Ye salary na ye gino ye nyoma na ye ton yetumi anya bi e de ato ho ema ye ma. This is the vision of Nana Kwame Bediako. Simple.
I see. It's strategically was a Ghana or IMF. Ye mostly attack boy a bosia crefia manone or so ba Ghana be print on one sika near there. I mean the vision is so, but Ghana member was just 4 years. 4 years, not to me find any na. It's more going to this about way. So Ghana for you na etuma moa na Nana Kwame Bediako be president or Ghana hanu say within 4 years. The first 4 years are all by dear potty and obabe. The
first thing Nana Kwame Bediako ebeye is to secure 2 industrial plants for each region of Ghana. 2 industrial plants? For each region of Ghana. So that the 16 regions, yes. 32 industrial plants. Now, industrial plants, you know, Bako air for the mining industry. Okay. And a Bako air for the agro-processing industry. Now, you keep saying, say, in 4 years, you bet to me, you bet to me, you bet to me. NDCD MPP for Nama Yagnia say, be anywhere Ghana for be to me. You. Oh, I see. You doable. Sanity. I see. You I might be to say Norway and Switzerland. Omo population, you know, cry to say, and can I have a population? Yeah. And so, for new markets, or more. Yeah. Because they have a serious leadership. Interesting. How much is it going to cost Ghana? Say, this industry, these 2 industries in all the region, how much will it cost Ghana, and how do you intend to generate funds? Because as it stands in Ghana, the car, sir, over 700 billion, sir, the car. Mobile just can't win. I'm there. Is any more person? And I'm a kwaji busi and be a becano. Debbie, busi and dear, and then Nana Kwame Bediako, I buy a ton quanta a pie. Na o questioner ubi sase ibenya sika no won hen. Yeah. Unim, ma menchero bibi. Ghana yo o man bia sika wo mu pa. Nenso so leakages bebree nso so ewo man nim
ya de kenten konsuo
sanity
I see
Ghana yet say da san eto apai enti sika no egum na esone fa ase adenti na make say if we have a serious government it has the will to plug systemic leakages afibia auditor general report to say sika you lose to corruption kwan etwam $4 billion afibia
yeah
all the time say for saying $16 billion and just by plugging systemic leakages you know $16 billion at the hodada
I see which is guaranteed
as far back as 2010-2012 capital flight Chesesika a free Ghana ha yen to me are accounted for na bro $12 billion
I see
enti chese wanya hwe kura wo man mu wo de enton hwe produce hwe just end corruption you immediately have more than $24 billion to start with
that's a yati bi da o yati da o
sa
oh yati sika so o man you here man
so ka say yati sika so na so wan kire ekwan e befa so apesika no
enam amamu a enye enko yenti ekom de ye Dr. Bawomi also say if the fundamental is weak your exchange rate will expose you we've heard all these things but this is where we are this is how we find ourselves this is that Jimwedi new force
the SSA Emma Ghana fo nyina enya enkranhye no munya gidie ewo mu ene say we are not coming with the gargantuan structure of a political party adia ba ko eku Ghana fo no minua
sir
ane amain penimfo no bi wo hono mu a nanka omutri mu pono enye bone nanka omani so ade hunu no yade ebeboa Ghana nanso so baggage no a omonde ba no as a political party no eso enipa wakobobo omo hobosia ne dan a watonton abusua sika ode akoye campaign ninua bi banka ode abo ne bosia de aye campaign nti no so oba aban ni mu a ese sankrofo we nyina tete wo moka enji se nipa no ni so ade hunu so kura no a emmam
interesting
and we say we want to operate the leanest and the most efficient governance model ever in the history of African politics.
Interesting.
As I said, ministers, no, omuya 12, a big kahu, a big deputy crankahu.
Oh, sir.
Annie.
No deputy ministers.
Edumanu.
Now, the minister, I mean, how
each minister has a permanent secretary.
A permanent
so you have a secretary to the minister
who will be in charge of all the administrative issues.
Aye.
But so, ministers will be secretary, personal secretaries.
There be a secretary or two you can secretary and yet the author new marco but
the permanent administrative secretary.
Sanity. Now unim minia Ghana your GDP nyina mo ka say adwuma no so na me mamo perspective.
Okay.
Your GDP nyina about $70 billion. Sa $70 billion no. Enuru company ba ko pe. Company ba ko pe ne annual revenue e will contribute to say US.
Interesting.
Then so CEO ba ko pe ne da no. We need deputy CEO. Walmart a year utimi making revenue etwam over $70 billion na GDP no.
But a company is different from a country.
There be so kasa de no so e sikasem ne yeka ho asem.
Yeah, sikasem. Okay, so ye different. Ba ko ye oman na ba ko ye adwuma. Me
ma another example, yeah. Harvard University.
Also your school.
But nipa na gum.
Yes, I mean
nipa na gum.
School share different from
the endowment of Harvard University and Ghana GDP ya epe. It's over $60 billion. Also nipa ba ko pe na da no. Structures. If you have the will to develop the country, you will do it. They don't have the political will to develop this country. And say we are suffering from the sunk cost fallacy and the Stockholm syndrome. And the earlier we break it, the better for all of us.
As a group is proud.
Sanity.
But very interesting to note. I mean, you have a very fine policies. But what me at tone, Sansem with the Magana for what you say.
In fact, Ghana for Adeo Mayeno, Ajiensem. So call villages no be brave no. Na you cry to say. Same said Jamayidi no Accra ni Kumasi nkwanete. Then so ye sha say ye kwa pro na ye soma ye nkrofo no. Feedback na omode ba no Ajiensem.
Oh.
Amoye hu say mpanimfo no kura ho wo so.
I see.
And we are ready to make a change in this country. Yeah.
I see. All things being equal, 12 ministers, 800,000 jobs within a year, 100, a bit me as to 100 years.
Yes.
Is it within a period of 4 years? No, but me, yes, I didn't need that. 4 years, no, sir.
100 years, no, sir.
100 years, no, sir. Then you never debate me as for 100 years.
And I'm the can catch say Ghana assassin 85% air fertile. Enti na mamenchira wadie bi. The city of Tokyo. The population air 40 million. And so the size of Tokyo it is a western region.
Yes.
Na me mau perspective bi. Say pia Ghana for nyina de kokogu western region na say serious you bekum. You bet me see high-rise buildings western region at them.
Yeah.
Ama the rest of the land no you bet me the dua enuaba. You bet me the food. I'm just giving you a perspective. So no and see I say within 4 years no you bet to me anya food reserves are a beboy for the next century. Enye bosere muka.
So technically mobile
it was just for context.
Okay.
Now,
but in our own case, practically, the same because yes, I mean, yes, a high-rise building, no. Yeah, the sure building be a 15 or 17.
The point is not the high-rise building. That was just for context.
Okay.
Now, the American say, as I say, baby, the Honumua, Esan say. Your leadership no ehunu here say
enough. I'm not the planting for food.
I'm
not the railing for export.
And accommodate.
Oh,
Tio Minia, show Ghana hana e wono. Se opese obua oman pa na solve Ghana problem. One of the first things you have to do is to end food inflation. Se aduane bo edin Ghana fo nya ho toda. Minia me no ka se woni bi se aduane bo odin.
Enra me kotom mo small one be 5 kilos 150 Ghana. Ade kwesi Ghana ha.
Sa enso so yedua betimi adua mo Ghana ukọ Volta region betimi adua mo.
Oh yendi.
Baby ni ho Ghana yesi yedua bibia yentimi nnua.
Yeah, that's true.
Na you need the political will to do that.
Na just one person just say aban ni aban ya betwa mu ko mo ya danko dada do.
Ene wo na waka.
Some because waka so mu political will dey na just say.
Wo na waka.
As a more dada, if you have the bizarre question.
Maybe you're fighting for in parliament.
Yes.
Kwa mo come around soon now. You who say more parliament
so being for
all the constituencies. The whole so more concern.
Minia, if you me that say obisa sa question yi na ye wo enipa bebre a omo open say omo betumi ne owura na Kwame Bediako akọ in terms of parliamentary no. Nezo so we independent candidate untimi enka say me parliamentary candidate nie me parliamentary candidate ba ko Huni Valley ba ko ha na say so we are operating a decentralized structure unu ya opese okọ parliamentary no yensi ho kwan dani duru ho na esese ye boa obia no as a team, a formidable force ye be omadi.
I see.
What shall ye bra cow ye nim? And it's send ye Ghana yen shisha and it's ye. Wow, really Sebia Mona Mobedi or Maisua. Yen parliament shisha. What's a mona mon crop for the door so and it's not me busa question you because
yeah. Na sa asem we metie kire na empanimfo ni bi last mete se panyin pa bi wo Ghana na o ka se independent for no crowd your mood agro Now about parliament cry emrane say as we choose ministers every parliament
about 50% of
my question is and so what
but emra ya hyehyɛ dia to
emra ya hyehyɛ say as we ministers every parliament
yes
emra na nkyerɛ say ministers na your party members
mo bu ho de but party members go with your ideology
yes.
If on follow ideology, how do you appoint somebody like that to be
there is no ideology that supersedes the supreme will of the Ghanaian people. There is no ideology that is greater than the economic interest of this party. Ebiem, members of parliament na omo hono, their allegiance is not to the political party. Technically, I'm
happy you are
saying they are just running on the ticket of political parties, but they are accountable to their constituents.
That's true.
Enti Samuel Mampenyi na me de dwumadie bi ebeto o man anim me pese minya parliamentary approval na parliamentarians ne say me free wo mo party anase me nwen wo mo ku enti wo mo nsan a the constituents are there, they are watching.
But we've seen most of them. I mean e-levy by and yehuniema esi e parliament. So any nasifo ho ntokwa ne nasifo esi because party for work say oh minority the majority also had their way. Meanwhile new force ebiana munyanya enough representatives our parliament to ensure the easy flow of government business. About the South Suwa, is not going to ham wakwan biaso.
Enye new force ena hano. Ade bia no a ebeboa Ghana no. Wo a wo begina obeya kwensidi ama no enye nipa no a ode ade na oba no na wo ha no. Ghana na wo ha no. Ba
ro peso ye ade na akwensidi wo ho no mo. Sa akwensidi no so yese bia ye akwensidi eyemra ye lay down.
Enti ugidi se biribi papa bi eba parliamentarians betimi esi anokwan na so betimi esi anokwan dia that is the exact reason intia ye ka se sankrofo we they don't have the interest of the country at will. The fact say utimi susu o wadwene mu say omo betumi ayesa no e kire say they have never had the interest of the country at will.
But probably they might have a counter view. Maybe now you might have a very superior opinion. To say we'll be creating 800,000 jobs within a year. Also Ghana, be try sika ewa hanu
sanity.
And 12 ministers are majority of them about 50% to be your parliament. I be na wuni sa domino and asasa anko for no.
Domino domo. So long as no there be so long as they are parliamentarians, you can choose your. It doesn't have to be from your party.
But do you have the men?
Do you have the men? No, yeah. The Omo promises said they have the men.
Okay, so
we have the men and we have the women.
Okay.
I see.
So back to Sanchez, where you can come back and see a maraso. New force mobile and constitutional. What is saying?
Enuntina, if you may say me casanas and me can say no human law can immunize itself against human intervention. Constitution na eda ho no Ghana for the money to me. Yes, said the man Ghana for and I share for the interest of the Ghanaian people. And to be bia no a ewo sabu kunumu a emwa Ghana no. I said Ghana for you 2 years or no near free. Period.
But and that form sao.
And that form pa.
It would have to go through parliamentary approval. And I'm more to me be
there be any to be na make us a Ghana for as I say 2 years or no near yi sa your money free.
Okay. Just say open we say we yenyi ya to yenyi yema we wom
na your politicians no wo mu nim say constitution in favor omo ya tro constitution no dey ama president ne na powerful enti nyoma na ewo mu na emwa oman no wo mu nka nkyerɛw omo nka nkyerɛw se mu nim say ministries no edoso a adadadada no mo antwa so mo ante so afei ayewura 2024 omo hu say Ghana for mabunu bu afu complaining no we see me the system ministers na beba we say mate so about 50 na dey na way.
Yes, because back to another question. Ohia yewra JMA na no launch the manifesto say as gracia obey free home. So does it mean say pressure na more mom because new force as a youth no more doso and na almost obia cassette ya sa as gracia nti pressure na more mom so be say someone na say we accept that the fact say you are giving them pressure.
If yes say kwatre kwase obema ntuma.
Listen to the name of the
country. Oni na ono say as gracia no obetwam no. What him?
So opportunity to
the first idea says so you need to set an example. Yeah, the man ono say menye.
But you bet.
Say okwa abemu no aba back. Eno
me say wo jibi.
Onye.
What Wajibi as an ex-president Wajibi?
Yeah, we trying to cast.
One more now Ben move for almost so free honey at the end and MPs or more parliament. One so Jibi. Empty there be and chain
that's all only
reject it. ABSida.
Constitution.
Talk about the one rejected.
Yeah.
You have to reject it and yes I will cast me bar me chum. All
right. There is one of the biggest TV platforms that we're gonna hire on your TV.
Sir.
Feedback from various places across the country. I say, "Kofo crap esa mobile mo constituents, but the mo who wo hono mo."
Ghana for nya betre.
Aka be boss me mienu.
The mekache Ghana for ne say we are just about to turn the engine on.
Hey,
mpacho ane.
In aka 89 days.
Ane.
I see.
Your school near can be said last days are dangerous.
Oh, and
these last days will be very, very dangerous. We are just about to turn the engine on into Ghana for Enya Butremaya Pa.
I see.
Campaign no Ghana for who be that.
Yeah, well, about 275 constituencies in this country.
276.
276. All things being equal. Aka 89 days. Meet me akoni in
we are determined
because I feel I'm more cotton Muniema Muslim Ediama Ghana for despite being on this biggest platform.
Yeah.
Any other platforms be a more try to reach out to the people. For person more feeling more presence. For person more join the crowd now. I mean, they don't even have any process. They don't know what they are doing. They don't know how to do them.
Minya, em say what you actually.
Sir.
Esan say. Nyoma okoso. The job day ground.
I see.
Esan say your database cry no your pay bim because any pay guso no crash your systems.
Interesting. Currently what's a database
edoso pa.
But about an average of
edoso ma mi ankasa mi hudwire me.
I see.
And these are not people who are ye cry ye say that call in nkuru so say ye kohwehwe o machira kwan.
I see.
They voluntarily registered on our website. Ebi frefre ebi ye wonipa bebre omo angasa atoto omo pickups branded pickups na dey adwuma mai. Ebi kura ho na nakwa mbedi akonya we.
Various constituencies in the country.
And this shows to say the end of the political duopoly is nigh.
I see.
We abempa.
Asudi ebi da musu ana.
Asudi de da so na asudi ne na ye nkwan so eda Ghana fo nyina so. We have a charge to keep as a country. Enya sa nka anopei minidi yo binua. Neso so mani hu donti.
Wa she quote about that. Tra also the day.
Yes, I do ane gwa yede. And say me call 010.
Formation abono.
Me formation am bono. Me call 010.
So far, remember the electoral process and the election process is not the event. So far, more engagement with the electoral commission. I was saying it's here because most of the times, say these two leading political parties now, as a less attention is being given to other political parties. So far, more relationship with the EC, let's say.
A relationship with ECD, we say a love-hate relationship.
Can you hear now?
I
see.
So who say you bubomu kakra na afe na omo ye de ese so omo ye. Na ye kan anu tumu so be na otwe mienu so na omo pese omo mian.
Oh.
Na so ni nyina mu no Ghana for de omo ni hwe. bibia ni hono mu a ebetumi ama the will of the people no asubside the biarada.
I see.
The nyame aka ne bebam.
Enti ena mo kwa file mo nomination many processes are mo go through ni na no mo ye well assured say mo bibia ye krogen ema yisi enkonkoba say Nana Kwabedi akwa fa ne ma bia mfa nto akwa munti wa disqualified nti say ne last or disqualify odike no.
Well, to the best of our ability, and your ma easy no ankasa atro no ahyehyɛ no apone no. Yɛdi ni nyinaa so. Na yɛbɛma Ghana fo nyinaa nso so ahunu. Adwumaden a yɛde akɔ because we documented everything. We have a dossier of evidences.
Oh, okay.
Yɛahyɛ da ɛde agu hɔ. Nti no yɛwɔ gidie we are giving the Electoral Commission the benefit of the doubt.
I see.
So obey na adwuma na obey fair. No.
But mo share throughout this process. Yes, must start say about the process we omo ne ye ni omo share omo de agu akwan no. Ema mo was some kind of confidence we omo jamudi.
Your confidence ne dey sanka wo ma percentage nka mema na 35%. Nanso so said dey make no. Saa nyoma we nyina ye nyoma Ghana for na ama ho kwan. Ghana for na ama ho kwan. Na wo hwe position bit say electoral commissioner kra no a they should have had a fixed term. So, a term where a bit to me transcend the term of the sitting president. Now, many your friend is saying statutory protection.
Okay.
A bit protected or more against arbitrary removal. And he said, "Oh, appoint him as an electoral commissioner. Me found only president or so." So now we appoint me cry no me dey me yem because minimum say who want me nyimi mfiri ho. Na say una we appoint me.
But that is the case.
Na make say emra no ayahye no we have to intervene. Politicians ni nimu say sa na o we favor omo nti omo nye ho adwuma. Na me ka no biem say Ghana for ya me ni amre na ya ntopel sa duopoly we o man ni nye yeda. Take it from me.
Interesting. Aka 89 days na Ghana ye na ekoto santene akwakoto aba e de yi ye mampani ene ye mrahye bedwamfo. Also earlier me bisa say mo wo omombe gina if you bisa say mo wo omombe gina various constituencies in your name say na be ya betumi has the smooth running of government business when you have the majority in parliament.
Yeah.
More no honomo.
And Amidi can say we are operating a decentralized structure.
Oh, okay.
And the Yawonipa Bibra or more pen or more de musika a finance or more campaign. Into a drew say as I say a boa or munina no near formal a legioner, a singular legioner. We will do it.
All right. So Hubert Baidoo, the lead economic analyst at the new force. And then at exactly 10, me no ka say me sure say na Kwabedi akon the Electoral Commission office are filing the nomination to become a presidential candidate on the ballot box. And come December 7th, if all things being equal, bibia to 2 year, ni din eba ballot sheet ni so a na Ghana for ko trouble metro e dia ma na Kwabedi akon. In the next 1 minute, Ghana for na abodom pibeti TV achi. Talk to them.
Ghana for me de enchia kese pa mamo na me da mo asenso me gina ye nyina ye nua panyi na Kwabedi akon anemu adam ase odo kese a moyi e de ache the new force, the fastest growing political movement in the whole of Africa. Na me de she mu nkran enso se ma adwene no enye se oh independent de otoma no a wa say vote enka bida u vote no a wo de kwa akoma MPP ni NDC ama o mawi ni no eye sa vote no a na wo de ma na Kwabedi akon a onu so bewi ni enti I'm encouraging you, the youth of Ghana, mo meka ye ho na ahoden no enye kese na yentumi entopple the duopoly of the NDC and the MPP. Until then, our nation will perish. Madam Wase.
Yes, yeah, that's it. Hubert, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Bibi nia ebesa so edi nkomo biem. Hubert Baidoo the lead economic analyst edema the new force. Me no ka say ne hihye ene bibia omode agu akwan mu e kire se Nana Kwame Bediako file the nomination. After the nomination, the DMB ballot sheet so na fe Ghana for etumi ato aba e de amano na sefo ni na no. Ene omukwakoye ni na. Eno masa so de a better explanation e de backe omo esema omo kanibi. Enti ebedi a tire na fe yetumi interrogate